Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for the week of November 15th. I had to look at my paper because, I don't know, I never remember what day it is. But we're going to jump right in here, Cancer. I'm going to do things like a little bit differently. We're going to lay out all the cards, and I'm just going to look at everything that shows up in general. So I'm going to give just like a general overview of all the cards right off the bat, your general energies. Then we're going to jump in and we're going to look at your first row, which is going to be what is coming in next for you at this time. Your second row, we're going to look at any messages from your future self. And in your third row, we're going to look at anything unexpected that could be coming in for you. Then at the end, I will be pulling 3 yes or no question cards as well. So, Cancer, let's see what we have going on for you here. And in general, this is the entire spread that we have here. I feel that there is definitely a change going on for you here, Cancer, especially in your kind of like your personal vision for your life here with this top row. You have the Seven of Cups, the Judgment card, and the Wheel of Fortune. And this energy together to me, the Wheel of Fortune is your personal vision for your life. On a very simple level, the Wheel of Fortune kind of represents where you see your life going, or, kind of like what you feel like you are fated to be doing in a lot of ways. Combining that with the Judgment energy here, this is definitely kind of like your, like what you feel is your calling. So for a lot of you, I feel like in general, a lot of you are moving a lot closer to like your, true calling, whatever you want to call it. I think, I always tell people to be careful of that thinking, to think that we have some sort of like exact purpose and things like that. I'm not saying we don't, but I think like when we have that like fixed energy, which is the Wheel of Fortune, by the way, we can, I think we can like overthink things. So, I think life is about balance. I think we need to be careful of like thinking that things have to go one way or the other. As long as we remain flexible, we probably will accomplish our purpose. But, I believe that our purpose is to create our own reality, whatever that means for you. So I think we're here to just bring more joy into the world, to move towards joy and happiness. And that definitely shows up in that top row there. I think in a lot of ways, you need to kind of like get moving in general. We have the Knight of Pentacles here as a major energy in the reading. And the Knight of Pentacles is about like needing to plant seeds, needing to get going. So I feel for a lot of you, it's time to get going here with that Knight of Pentacles. I also feel like as far as love is concerned, some of you could have a Pisces coming in for you here. You have the King and Queen of Wands down here, which is interesting. I'll tell you why. Because Pisces also had the King and Queen of Wands showing up in their reading. And just intuitively, I kind of feel like the two of you are connected here. So for some of you, I feel like this is clearly a love. I would say that there could be an issue. You have the Eight of Swords over here, the Five of Swords here as well. So if you're dealing with a Pisces, or if you're hoping to be with a Pisces in the future, like I feel like if this message is for you, I feel like you already know who this person is. I just see, like, I feel like someone is a little bit stuck there with the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords really isn't that big of a deal. Whoever is stuck in this situation, I kind of get the feeling that they could be stuck on a past person for some of you, which, that's never great. For others, I feel like they are just stuck as far as love is concerned in general. The Eight of Swords is about setting yourself free. The Five of Swords really asks you to take a risk, or asks this person that you could be dealing with to take a risk. I actually like that without even clarifying, I like that the Five of Swords shows up here, because again, to me, it tells me that this person could be taking a risk. We even see this here with the Knight of Swords here. The Knight of Swords could be saying that, this person with that King of Wands in the same row as well, it could be saying that this person, that a person is going to be taking a risk or making a move towards you here, Pisces. So, yeah, I really definitely like this energy for you in general. For you, Cancer, I should say. And it probably could be a Pisces, by the way. Could also be a fire sign. Earth. You have Earth here as well. So it could be an Earth sign that is showing up for you. But I kind of feel like this is like a fated connection. It's meant to be in your life. So if it's love, it would be really, really good for you. For others, I do feel like you need to take this reading just in general, your general energy here, I do feel is talking about taking a risk towards something that's probably going to change your life. I mean, if we just break down even these diagonals, Seven of Cups, Knight of Swords to the Eight of Swords. This is a stuck energy, but the Seven of Cups is kind of like allowing yourself to be confused. And it doesn't say that, it says that you could very well be in a confusing situation, no doubt about it. But the Seven of Cups asks us to kind of like slow things down, to focus, to really focus on what's important in our life, and probably to listen to our inner voice as well with the Judgment card. Then we go to this diagonal here. You have the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. Queen of Wands is extremely bold. She's very assertive. She really kind of goes towards what she wants and what she desires. She doesn't really allow anything to slow her down. That Knight of Swords is about building momentum, and the Wheel of Fortune here is about controlling the direction of the wheel. And you might be saying, how do we control the direction of the wheel? Well, with the Wheel of Fortune, we control the direction of the wheel with our vibrations. We have to kind of give off a positive vibration here. That's kind of like what I get for you in general here, Cancer. Diving a little deeper here in the area of what is coming in next for you, you have the By the Book card here. I feel like this is saying don't go by the book. Like if you read oracle cards in reverse, for example, then I would say this should have been in reverse, right? I don't read reversals, but just intuitively, that's what I'm feeling like. I feel like this is saying don't do things by the book. I would be kind of looking more towards the road less traveled this week. I feel like that's where all your answers are coming in for you. I feel like having that adventurous, more rebellious energy would be a good idea for you. It's kind of funny because I think I said something very similar to one of the other signs last week. I don't really remember who it was, but I'm getting the same energy for you here, where like being rebellious or kind of being willing to go against the grain at this time would be probably very beneficial for you. And I think that there could be a lot of answers in you doing those things as well. This could be like in work as well, like work or business. You might have some ideas that you want to try. You might have some things that you want to do in work or business. And I think it would be a good time to try those things. This has the vibes of something that's just so crazy it could work type of energy here, right? I kind of am also getting like weird words popping into, like weird sayings popping into my head, like kind of like it's what's that? I don't know if I always have these sayings that pop into my head and I never know what I'm talking about, Cancer. But it's like in this first row I'm getting the whole it's better to ask for forgiveness than for permission, where it's, whatever that saying is, right? And I'm kind of getting that here where some of you, it's like maybe you have an idea at work or business, and I kind of see you taking a risk, maybe to, try out your idea without necessarily asking for permission first. I actually feel if that story is for you, I feel like it's going to work out very, very well for you, Cancer. I think that it could lead to a lot of benefits, or there could be some good things that come about because of it. You have the Seven of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands here. And like I said, the Queen of Wands really is about being bold, being assertive, really going for what you want. It's like a major card of taking a risk. I'm also focused on the fact that she's holding a sunflower here on this card. Sunflowers in the tarot represent the sun. So there is clearly happiness coming in for you. I kind of see this first row as like you having all the ingredients, having all the ingredients to make something work, whatever it is that you're focused on at this time. But you just need to plant the seeds. The Knight of Pentacles, he has blank fields. The fields behind him are not planted. It's like time to plant your fields here, Cancer. I feel like it's time to get to work, and it's time to kind of like make things happen. Let's see here. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Six of Swords. Improvements coming in for you. I feel like they're major improvements. And it's like you're kind of like moving on to calmer shores. With the Knight of Pentacles here, Eight of Swords, again. Knight of Pentacles and Eight of Swords is definitely a stuck energy. It's like Knight of Pentacles is no movement. He's the only knight in the deck that isn't making movement. The only reason I'm not worried about it is because, again, we go straight over to the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is very quick movement. It's like moving right away, and there is no delay with the Knight of Swords. So I feel like you will be moving very quickly here to probably create some sort of change in your life with that Knight of Swords energy. The only thing I would say, again, is the Knight of Swords, he can be a little bit too hasty. I would say make sure to check in with yourself. If you're feeling stuck in any area of your life, I would, kind of check in with yourself and make sure you're acting because of, like, positive for positive reasons, right? Here's what I mean by this. Going from the Knight of Pentacles to Knight of Swords, very restless energy. Knight of Pentacles, Eight of Swords. Like, that energy here, being stuck, wanting movement, wanting to get going. Sometimes when we have this, that energy can represent just doing something just to do something without thinking it through first. I'm not saying that you shouldn't make a move right now, but, I don't really have a good example other than, like, sometimes I think if we're stuck too long in work, love, business, health, whatever, it's like we can just do something drastic. And I feel like just to do something, and I feel like this is saying kind of think it through first and then take your action. I'm not really worried about it, but just thinking about it. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Moon. It's funny that I was talking about the Sun and the sunflowers, and you get the Moon card here. Definitely could be a Pisces coming in for you, by the way. But I kind of feel like it's saying you're coming out of this moon period here. I feel like you're noticing a lot of warning sign. Like, I feel like you're noticing a lot of warnings around you at this time as well with the moon card. And what I mean by that, but I feel like you need to see through these things. I feel like you're seeing through the warnings. And this is a good thing because, again, I feel like people around you, I feel like there could be a lot of things going on around you as well that are basically more fear-based. To me, the energy in your reading, even in general, is saying that you're moving away from this more fear-based energy. And I even feel like you could be noticing this from people. I'm pretty sure it was you. I don't know if it was you, but I'm pretty sure it was you that in the 2022 readings that I already did, I was saying something about you being careful of people who automatically jump to the fear. And I feel like you're noticing this as well, where it's like you could have an idea to like start a business or to do something. And I feel like people are just fear, fear, fear. You could have an idea to date a person. People could be coming at you, fear, fear, fear. And I feel like you're kind of looking at it and saying like, wait a minute, they're coming from a place of fear. I don't want to come from a place of fear any longer. And I think that's one of the major changes that you're making, not only this week, but also in 2022 as well, is that you're noticing, like, I think you're noticing like where people are coming from energetically, and this is a good thing because again, it's going to lead to positive relationships, and positivity in other areas of your life as well, like health, all sorts of things. Really good. I like this. To me, this is like a positive change that you're making. Like I said, I feel like it's setting yourself. It's kind of like setting you free with the Eight of Swords coming up here twice. Next, in the area of any messages from your future self, you have this shining through card here. Again, I think anything that is true is going to shine through. And I don't mean that people are lying to you, although it could be, but I mean that like you are noticing where people are coming from energetically. And I feel like it's going to be hard to ignore here. And I feel that your future self like really wants you to pay attention to that. Mostly because, I think that it's more of an intuitive situation that's going on here where it's like you're going to be picking up on things intuitively. It's like maybe you want to start a business and maybe everybody in your life is like saying don't do it, there's all these reasons not to do it, but you want to do it. And I think what is shining through here is the fact that you need to listen to yourself and not operate from fear. Same thing in love. It's like maybe you meet a person who's really great and maybe there are a bunch of people around you who have seen maybe they're coming from a good place. Maybe they've seen you get hurt a bunch of times, but it's like maybe they don't know a new person like you do. And I feel like what is shining through here is your intuition. I feel like your inner knowing is what is going to be very important here as well. The other thing that I'm getting here, and I just got to chill. Whenever I get a chill like that I just got, to me, that says that this is the truth. I feel like you're noticing something doesn't feel right, and I feel like you really need to pay attention to this. You have look at this, Judgment, Knight of Swords, King of Wands. It's like, even in my own personal life, like there have been things where it's like I should have paid attention. I noticed something that didn't quite look right, but I didn't have words to describe it. I didn't have any, I couldn't really explain why. I get that situation for you here, Cancer. I feel like there could be a situation this week where I think you're just like, you're looking at it and it reminds you of something else. And I really don't have a good example because again, I feel like it's very intuitive is what I'd say to you, but I feel like you're noticing a warning sign where there might not actually be one, but I feel like you need to pay attention to that. For a lot of you, I feel like this feels financial to me. It feels like a financial decision that you could be making, or it could be something that costs money. And I feel like on the surface, things look fine, but I feel like there's like a red flag, but it's not like a real red flag. It's like more intuitive, an intuitive warning sign that you're noticing here. And I really feel like you need to kind of like pay attention to the warning signs. I'm noticing all the red here, King of Wands, the shining through card. You literally have this card at the end called the Red Garden, which I'll show you in just a minute, but I'm noticing all the red. And I feel like you're noticing the red in a situation. Could it be the color red? Yes, but that's what I mean by it's like more subtle, right? It's more intuitive. It's like when we go out in nature, brightly colored animals, right, are usually dangerous, like poison dart frogs, right? That's what I'm seeing here. I'm not trying to get all nerdy on you here, Cancer, but it's like I'm seeing a poison dart frog. Like I'm seeing something that you shouldn't eat because it's probably poisonous. Not literally food, but although it could be. I mean, when in doubt, throw it out, right? But I feel like there could be a situation where it kind of is giving off these warning signs, but maybe it's more subtle than anything else. I would pay attention to that situation, whatever it is. But other than that, I feel like your future self is definitely calling out to you because of this Judgment card here. I feel like your future self is like saying, hey, it is time for you to, again, start planting your fields, like I was saying with the King or the Knight of Pentacles here. I feel like it's time to start taking action towards things that you're hoping will grow. And it's like you finally have the ingredients. Those are the words that keep popping into my head. Everything is food with me, Cancer, so sorry, but I feel for a lot of you, it's like you finally have the ingredients to put together to create whatever whatever it is you want. With the Judgment card, you have the Page of Swords here. I'm getting like the words "don't stop" or "don't stop" are popping into my head here as well. I think you can extract more from a situation is what I'm getting. It's like, sometimes I think, I've worked with a lot, I always use business as an example because I've worked a lot in business, and I've worked with a lot of businesses as well. And it's like one thing I've noticed as well is that people, like some people in business, it's like they have a certain number that they wanted to reach. And it's like those people would always reach that number, but they wouldn't get, no matter what, they wouldn't move past it, right? They wouldn't get past that number. Then there were people who were like, I want to make as much as I possibly can. And those people would always create more abundance. They would always hire more people. They would always, and make more money and all that other stuff as well. And I'm not saying this is business. I'm just giving you an example here. I feel like there are things in your life where it's like you should just be open to seeing how much is possible, with that Page of Swords energy, so that you can blow your own freaking mind, Cancer. I'm all about it, right? I'm all about people blowing their own mind. I'm all about people living life to the max here, and that's kind of like what I feel like that Page of Swords is saying. It's like saying don't put limits on anything. It's like even like when I write affirmations, I always like write the affirmation, and like let's say it's like a number or an amount of something that I want. I always say the amount or better. I always put or better after that because like what if the universe wants more for you? I feel like that's what the Page of Swords is asking. Like I feel like the Page of Swords is asking you, what if the universe wants more for you? What if? With the Knight of Swords, you have the Fool. Time to take a leap of faith for sure. Definitely time for action. Again, I wouldn't really worry about it. Like I was saying with that Knight of Swords, sometimes Knight of Swords can represent kind of rushing, being hasty, making a hasty decision with that Knight of Pentacles and Eight of Swords. That's very stuck energy. So when we get the Knight of Swords, it's like just rushing to make a decision, not really thinking it through. Sometimes we can make good mistakes, though, right? Sometimes we can make a mistake by rushing, but at the same time, sometimes we could make a mistake that's like a good mistake, right? We could make a mistake that really helps us out. Maybe we don't think things through, but maybe there's some benefits to the mistake that we're making. And so that's kind of like what I get here. I would definitely take the leap of faith. With the King of Wands here, you have the Eight of Wands, quick success. If this is love, by the way, here for you, Cancer, I feel like your future self is telling you that this person coming in is like has very pure intentions. The Fool can represent foolish energy, but it can also represent pure intentions. He's kind of got these this flower in the back of his hand there. He's got this white rose that he is holding, and it represents pure intentions. Remember what I was saying? Like, again, I feel like for some of you, it's like you are seeing the truth of a situation. Something is shining through. I feel like if this is love, it's like people in your life might be saying you're rushing or you're moving too quickly and things like that. I think you are probably moving very quickly, judging by the cards that are here. But I also feel like you see the truth of the situation, so who cares, right? It's like if you intuitively knew that you were just going to marry a person that you're with anyway, doesn't matter if you wait a week or a year, probably not. if you're really, really tapping into your intuition, right? I'm not suggesting you marry a person after 1 week, but I'm just giving you an example here, Cancer, that if you truly were honest with your intuition and you knew that the person was going to be with you forever, and, if that was the truth, and again, this is fantasy land, I'm sure, but, what I'm saying is, if you knew, it's like, would it really matter? No, is the answer. Eight of Wands is a quick success here as well. But I feel like your future self is kind of like saying, Next, in your last row here for anything unexpected coming in for you, you have this red garden card. Again, I would pay attention to the warning signs in any situation. Definitely feels financial to me, like I said earlier. I don't really feel like this is something that's going to blindside you or anything. But the best way I can describe kind of like what I'm feeling is I feel like you see something, like a financial opportunity, and it looks good, but I feel like you see it in your head as something else, like a scam, right? It's like, I feel like, and you might, again, you might even have people in your life that are saying like, oh my God, you would be crazy to pass up this opportunity. You see it as something else, like, just like your gut instinct. I feel like part of you sees it as a good thing, but I feel like your gut instinct is, kind of off about a situation. I would trust your gut instinct is what I feel like this last row is really saying. And we already talked about this over here as well. It's like your gut is telling you something else. And again, the best way I can describe this energy is it's like you're comparing it to something else. You're comparing it to something that probably isn't good, right? Like poison or something like that. So I would, trust your instincts. You have the Wheel of Fortune, the Five of Swords, and the Eight of Swords here. In a lot of ways, what is unexpected is you could be setting yourself free. You have the Wheel of Fortune here, and the Wheel of Fortune is a card of a change in your fortunes, card of you taking control of your destiny, and the Five of Swords can be a card of winning at all costs, but the Five of Swords is also my card of not giving up, and is my card of, to me, it is a card of taking a risk as well. And I feel like some of you need to take a risk just so that you can set yourself free. Eight of Swords is self-imposed restriction. It represents anywhere where you could be keeping yourself stuck. She needs to get unstuck. She needs to set herself free. And I kind of feel that for some of you here, Cancer. I feel like you need to kind of set yourself free from some situations. Let's see here. I feel like education would be very important for you as well. I always say, like, these people, well, they're not people. The signs, Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo, here on the Wheel of Fortune, they're all reading books. And I feel like it would be a good, that is jumping out at me. I do feel for some of you, there could be like a lot of answers in books for you at this time. And so that's why I say you have the buy the book card at the beginning of the reading. So I feel like books could be very beneficial for you right now. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Death card, a change coming in for you here, like I said. Pretty simple. I mean, going from Judgment to the Wheel of Fortune to the Death card, to me, that is like a significant change coming in for you. I think something people don't realize about the Death card is it doesn't just represent a change. It represents a big change, right? It's like the king is dead on the Death card. It represents a significant change in life. But it kind of represents also, needing to be open to adventure, needing to be open to the new. Some people are afraid of change, and we all are. I mean, even, like, I change things all the time, right? I drive people crazy with the cameras and everything that I do on the channel, changing up the readings, everything like that. But there are other areas of my life where, I do not want things to change. Plain and simple, right? Like, try to get me to go on vacation. It's not going to happen, right? So you have this child right here who is reaching up to the Death Rider if it wants to focus, and the child has flowers in its hand. It kind of represents like childlike energy and the fact that children are not afraid of change, and they're actually extremely curious as well, which we see right next to it with the Page of Swords. So I feel like curiosity is going to be very beneficial for you. With the Five of Swords, you have the Hangman, Pisces, number one. So again, definitely could be a Pisces, like I said at the beginning of the reading, that's coming in for you. Hangman is kind of like saying you're ready. Hangman, he's hanging from the Tree of Wisdom. His head is glowing. He's gained enlightenment. It's like he's ready to go. Kind of like with the Fool right next to him here. You have the Fool right here. So it's like kind of like saying he is ready to go. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Damn, there's clearly a good, solid opportunity coming in for you. So I do feel there could be like a little bit of an unexpected opportunity coming in for you at this time. And you have the Ten of Cups wanting to pop out there as well. Fortune after difficulty, happiness, really nice. But, I feel like there could be a good opportunity coming in for you, especially in work or business. For others, again, back to the warning sign message, I feel like there could be a warning sign coming in. I feel like you need to pay attention to that. It feels financial to me. Could be anything. Could be a job, investment, a purchase. For a lot of you, I'm leaning towards purchase. Like intuitively, I feel if you're like thinking about making an expensive purchase or something like that, I feel like there's a better opportunity coming around. I even, as silly as this sounds, Cancer, I even feel for some of you, it's like one of those things where it's like, I don't know if you've ever purchased something and they come out with like a new version of whatever you just purchased like 2 days later. Just happened to me, by the way. So, it's like I get that feeling right here where it's like maybe the warning is that maybe you just feel like you should wait and they're going to come out with a new version of whatever, or they're going to put it on sale. I've done that before too, where I like purchase something and then like 2 days later it goes on sale. So like I feel this need to kind of wait. And I feel the other thing is I would trust your intuition because intuitively, I feel like you know this. The other thing is that my eye itches, but I also am noticing all the flowers in this reading. Shining Through card. You have this red garden card, the white flower here on the Fool card. You also have a white flower here on the Death card. Right here on the Death card, there is a white flower on his flag. And, I'm noticing all these flowers here. The white flowers in particular can represent purity. They can also represent, kind of like a light in the dark on the Death card. That white flower kind of represents just that pinprick of light in the darkness. It kind of represents a new beginning, and it's kind of like standing out to me. But all in all, awesome reading. Love it. So we're going to pull 3 yes or no question cards now here, Cancer. We're going to do 1, 2, and 3. So 1, 2, 3. Feel free to pause the reading if you need time to think of your questions. If you don't have questions, that's fine too. I'm just going to put all 3 cards together. For question number 1, I would say yes, Strength card. Strength card is like a display of strength, but also just a really good card, so yes. For question number 2, yes, Lovers. Definitely new love coming in for you. For those of you who are looking for love, I definitely feel there could be love coming in. Could be any sign. Pisces stands out to me. Scorpio, you have Scorpio here as well, so it could be a water sign. Could be a fire sign. You have fire here. You have pretty much everything here. Could be any sign. But I definitely feel yes to question number 2, especially if you're asking for love. For others, I am getting something about confusion on question number 2, being confused about what to do here. And again, I feel like some of you need to kind of like tap more into your spiritual side, your higher self. The 6 of Swords here, which you have as one of your first cards. 6 of Swords, the guy in the back of the boat represents a guide. So some of you maybe need to tap into your, spiritual guidance or whatever you want to call it. And for question number 3, what do you know? Pisces, High Priestess. So yes. And I would also trust your intuition here with the High Priestess. This is a really nice reading here, Cancer. A lot of good stuff coming in for you. So thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Definitely make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.